So here we are, confronted by this old man who claims to be our flesh and blood son. It's possible he is the real Sean, but it's also possible that he's a synth himself, or even someone else entirely. In a real situation, we would be best served to ask these questions and remain on our toes, though that might be easier said than done. There's a good chance the Institute has some ulterior motive for making us think that Sean was the one standing in front of us. Maybe they want to further their research that they started with the boy. Maybe they are curious to see how this kind of manipulation of human emotions would play out so they can adjust the programming in their synths to compensate for some specific set of circumstances. The truth is that we don't know what they really want, but they sure know what we're looking for. This whole introduction was orchestrated to play with our emotions. They knew that we were looking for a young child, the son that we'd lost in the vault. Us going through Kellogg's memories was helpful to them because it introduced the idea that the boy might be a little older, but still the son that we could connect with. Now we find out that he's actually lived his entire life as we've been frozen in time, and their hope would likely be that we would still be open to having a connection with him for one reason or another. And that's no accident either, as Father even mentions how we were willing to accept the 10-year jump, meaning we should be able to accept an additional 50 years by default. Let's bring this into the real world to learn something useful from the experience. Many of us have been faced at one time or another with a friend or family member that might have used similar tactics to get something from us. Maybe they wanted money, or to be involved in our lives in some way that they weren't already. Perhaps they were looking for something more. While not every relationship is toxic like that, it's always smart to pay attention and work to spot the times when things seem off. This is especially true when it comes to close familial relationships that are more one-sided most of the time. This might involve someone who is abusive or manipulative, who withholds affection or attention until they need or want something for themselves. If you can learn to spot that behavior through honest reflection, you can often wind up getting yourself out of a bad situation before it begins.